Welcome in, everyone. Good evening. And welcome to some more Dixie Youth Baseball Ozone Division World Series Tournament here on JockJive.com as we get started for our second of 3 games. Here on Field 3, this will be a game between Texas and North Carolina. Texas will be your visitors. North Carolina, your home team. The 2 games that went on in the Ozone Division before this, South Carolina 16-1 win over Oxford in 3 innings, and Tennessee 16-2 win over Arkansas in 5 innings. We'll see how this one between Texas and North Carolina plays out. The other game going on in Ozone right now is Georgia and Mississippi playing over on Field 2. That score is 1-0 over there. But we, on this field, have a game between Texas and North Carolina. Happy to have you in this evening on JockJive.com. I'm Anthony Crum. Hope you're enjoying your night. This is your first game. Welcome in. If you were with us for that last game between Tennessee and Arkansas, happy to have you back. We're going to go through the starting lineups real quick. First for Texas, as they are your visitors. Leading off will be number 5, the center fielder, Ty Harper. Number 21, your pitcher, Will Jackson. Number 2, your catcher, Carson Martin. Number 3, your first baseman, Clayton Keith. Number 35, your third baseman, Andon Mata. Number 9, your second baseman, Cole Jackson. Number 11, your right fielder, Xander Mason. Number 10, your shortstop, Garrett Sipes. Number 32, Tate Wiggins. Winnings. Number 12, Bailey Hughes. Number 1, Cole Minor. And number 4, Amarion Anthony, your left fielder. On the mound for North Carolina will be Charlie Melton. Starting off facing this Texas lineup, 1 ball, no strike on the leadoff hitter, Harper. He swings at the second pitch, strike 2. Quickly down 0-2 is Ty Harper, the leadoff hitter for Texas. Your manager for Texas is Jake Jackson. The 2 coaches are Scott Martin and Kyle Manson. The shout-out number's on your screen if you want to text in a shout-out to someone out there on the field, 410-903-2715. That's 410-903-2715 to get a shout-out to someone out there on the field. Just tell me who you are, who you're rooting for, and where you're rooting from. We only take text messages, though. Don't call us here as we are talking on the air, so we can't talk to you on the phone. So just text in if you want to give in a shout-out to anyone out there on the field. 0-2 pitch is a little high into Harper for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. To number 5, the center fielder, Ty Harper. Leading off for Texas. They're in the powder blues with red numbers and letters as that strike through, swinging through that pitch. Charlie Melton puts him down via the strikeout for the first out. Texas in those powder blues with the white pants and the high socks that look like their state flag. So sharp look there for Texas. North Carolina also with the high sock look, but this is they have the red jerseys and the white pants with the black numbers. This one, the first pitch is swung on by Will Jackson, hit into right field. That one's going to get down for a single. First hit of this game between Texas and North Carolina. Will Jackson, the pitcher, number 21, gets on first with the single to bring up the catcher, number 2, Carson Martin. Says, hi, this is Sydney Martin. I wanted to give a shout out to Carson Martin from New London, Texas. That's where this Texas team is from, New London. Thank you for that shout out, our first shout out of this game. Shout out to Carson Martin, who's coming to the plate right now. His first plate appearance, the catcher, number 2 from Texas. We're in Oxford, Alabama for this World Series in Choccolocca State Park. The runner on first base is Will Jackson as he hit a single with 1 out here in the top of the first. Kings Mountain Family YMCA is watching and supporting their KM All-Stars. Go Mountaineers. Thank you for that shout out. We have 2 shout-outs now. If you want to send in a shout-out, the number's on your screen, 410-903-2715. We're happy to have you in this evening here on JockJive.com as Martin swings through strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes on Martin now. On the mound is Charlie Melton. He already has 1 strikeout today. To the leadoff strikeout from Ty Harper, but then Will Jackson singled into right field, and that's how we have a runner on first for Texas as they try to put a run up early on North Carolina here. Strike 3 goes down swinging as Carson Martin goes down swinging for the second out, and stealing second in the process is Will Jackson. So a runner in scoring position for the cleanup hitter for Texas, number 3, the first baseman, Clayton Keith. The left-handed batter stands in, swings the bat around a few times, and gets set. Pitch comes in high and outside for ball 1. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Runner in scoring position for Texas after the single and the stolen base for Will Jackson. As stepping off is Charlie Melton, number 5. We have a shout out to Xander Mason from Joe Wright, making the family proud. We thank you for that shout out. Xander Mason, number 11, the right fielder for Texas. Big swing and a miss there by Clayton Keith. Count even at 1. A hit may score a run for Texas here as they try to put a run up early here in the first inning. Swing and a miss, strike 2 now on Clayton Keith. As Charlie Melton has a chance to strike out the side here. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch, swung through, strike 3, 3 strikeouts for Charlie Melton as he celebrates off the mound as he picks up 3 strikeouts. So it does allow 1 hit, but the run is not able to come around to score for Texas. North Carolina heads to the dugout. Your score, North Carolina 0, Texas 0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Taking the mound for Texas for the bottom of the first will be Will Jackson, number 21. And the lineup for North Carolina is as follows. Number 9, the left fielder, Bebe Moore. Number 14, the catcher, Cole Irby. Number 5, the pitcher, Charlie Melton. Number 7, the center fielder, Bennett Davis. Number 10, the shortstop, Tucker Cash. Number 12, the second baseman, Marty Lovingood. Number 4, the first baseman, Nick Cole. Number 45, the third baseman, Colton Mays. Number 17, Brayson Butchard. Number 6, Jordan Mole, the right fielder. Number 2, Lucas Saldo. And number 50, Mark Allen. Your manager for the North Carolina side is Mike Mole. The coaches are Shane Cole and William Strope. I have a shout out to Lucas Saldo, Kings Mountain, North Carolina. From Marty and Missy, go Kings Mountain. Let's go Kings Mountain. The Bell family is supporting you from back home. We thank you for all those shout outs coming in from both sides, from North Carolina and Texas. Happy that you can keep up with your team here on JockJive.com. Even if you can't make it to Oxford, Alabama, we'll bring the game to you. Happy that we can provide the coverage and that you can enjoy the game here tonight in this first game for these two teams. The winner of this game will go on to face the winner of Georgia and Mississippi, a game going on to my left. It's in the second inning, 1-0 over there. The loser will fall to the loser's bracket and face the loser of that game. The winner's game will be at 8 p.m. tomorrow. The loser's game will be at 3:30 tomorrow. So mark that down if you're trying to keep up with your team. The loser plays at 3:30. The winner of this game will play at 8 o'clock. Taking the mound for Texas will be Will Jackson, his battery mate behind the plate, Carson Martin, as we get set to go here. Three strikeouts for Charlie Melton for North Carolina. Put Texas down in the top of the first without a score. We'll see how Will Jackson does against this North Carolina lineup. Leading off is the left fielder, number 9, Bebe Moore. First pitch, outside, ball one. As Will Jackson starts off his day with ball one. Second pitch swung on by Moore, fouled back, count even at one now. We've already played 2 Ozone games so far. Tennessee defeated Arkansas 16-2, and South Carolina defeated Oxford 16-1. Strike 2 on Bebe Moore as he swings through the next pitch. That sets up 2 of our matchups for tomorrow. South Carolina and Tennessee will play at 8 p.m. on field 3 right here. And then Oxford and Alabama will be playing on field 2 tomorrow at 5:45. 2-2 the count now on Bebe Moore as the 1-2 pitch is too high. Will Jackson trying to respond after Charlie Morton strikes out the side, and he gets Bebe Moore looking there with a nice curveball. That one flutters in and makes it over the heart of the plate. Bebe Moore goes down looking for the first out of the first inning for North Carolina. That brings up the catcher, number 14, Cole Irby. His first plate appearance today. Right-handed batter stands in, swings at the first pitch, but it's strike one as he doesn't make contact. The sun's starting to set here in Oxford, Alabama. The lights are turning on the field as our next game set to start around 8 o'clock. We might get started a little bit late. This game was supposed to start around 5:45. It didn't get started till around 6, so we're a little bit behind, but not doing too bad. We'll be playing all week. Strike 2 on Irby. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on the catcher for North Carolina. We will crown a World Series champion on Thursday here in the Ozone Division. Hope you stay with us all week. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry for that delay. Slight technical difficulty while we were away. Another strikeout for Will Jackson. He strikes out Cole Irby for the second out of the top of the second. Now he has Charlie Melton at the plate. Melton swings on that pitch, hits it high to the right side, but foul, and it gets out of play. The count is 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Charlie Melton as the pitcher has worked the count full against his pitching counterpart, Will Jackson. And that's going to be ball 4. Melton works the walk, and that's a 2-out base runner for North Carolina here in the bottom of the first inning. That brings up number 7, the center fielder, Bennett Davis for North Carolina. First pitch coming in, but it doesn't. They fired a first instead to try to get Melton too far off first, but he's back there safely. Texas failed to score in the top of the first. Now North Carolina trying to score here in their bottom of the first. Let's go, Texas. We're sending lots of luck your way from New London. We love you guys. Make us proud. Love the Farquhars. Thank you for that shout out. If you want to send in a shout out, 410-903-2715. That's the number on your screen. That's the shout out number. Just text in and tell me who you are, who you're rooting for, and where you're rooting from. Count on Bennett Davis is 1 ball, no strikes. It's Will Jackson trying to get out of this first inning without giving up a run. Pitch comes in, fouled back by Davis. Heads up behind the plate. Pretty good crowd on hand on both sides. In the Texas-North Carolina side, all the parents out here in full force to root on their sons in this World Series event. Definitely a big event. Beautiful park here in Oxford, Alabama. This one fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Davis. One ball, 2 strike pitch. Already 2 strikeouts on the day for Will Jackson as he looks for his third. Trying to end the first here. This one hit down the third base line. Throw to first is going to be in time. Ground out for Bennett Davis, and that's going to end our first inning. No score on either side. After the first inning of play, North Carolina fails to get a hit. Texas secured 1 hit in that first inning, but neither side was able to get a score. When we come back for the second inning, the number 25, the third baseman, Andon Mata, will be leading off for Texas. Let's go, Texas. All of us are rooting for you guys. Much love to our neighbors from Overton Youth Sports. Thank you for that shout out. You're listening to and watching this game on JockJive.com. We thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like JockJive on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. We're trying to reach 10,000 Facebook likes and 1,000 Twitter followers this summer. We need your help to get there. When you like us on Facebook, we keep you updated on scores, schedules, game status, and so much more. So go to JockJive.com and follow the shortcut to all social media, or simply put JockJive Sports in the search engine of Facebook or at JockJive on Twitter. Plus, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Good luck, Nick. And Sugar Shane Cole. Go Kings Mountain from Eli. Thank you for that shout out. Returning to the mound for North Carolina will be Charlie Melton after he picked up 3 strikeouts in that first inning. We'll see if he can keep dealing on the mound for North Carolina here. Our score is still 0-0 after the first inning of play. We're into the top of the second. We play 6 innings here in the Ozone division. If we make it there, the run rules are 15 runs after 3 or 10 runs after 4. That's the run rules that would end the game if we end an inning with either team up by 15 runs after 3 or 10 runs anywhere after 4. Our game earlier ended in the 5th inning after Tennessee ended the 5th up 16-2 over Arkansas. The South Carolina-Oxford game ended after just 3 innings as South Carolina had the 16-1 lead over Oxford at the end of 3. The winner of this game will play tomorrow night against the winner of Georgia-Mississippi. It's a 1-1 tie in the second inning over to the left on field 2. You can easily switch over and watch that game if you want to. Keep up with whoever you're going to play next. You can switch back and forth between the 2 games. And we get set to go here in the second inning. Number 25, the third baseman, Andon Mata, will be leading off. We're sending love to Carson Martin, catcher from Texas, from his mumsy, who is his biggest fan. Thank you for that shout out. Bet you he'll love to hear that one later when he goes back and watches the game.
North Carolina's the guys. He's putting in 2. I don't know where he's doing. He's subbing in 2 and subbing in 17. He said he won't answer. So there he's talking on it, but he won't speak. We need to get them every game. We got to tell these folks how to use it.
And we get set to go here in the top of the second. First pitch in to Andon Mata. 1-1 the count now. Charlie Melton returns to the mound. This pitch comes in right back up the middle. It hits Melton in the leg. There's going to be no play at first base as that one bounces off Melton's shin. Caroms to first base. Number 7, Bennett Davis has to go over and field it And then no play is made at first base. That was a hot shot right back up the middle by Mata. He's going to be on first with the infield single. We'll see if Charlie Melton's okay. He kind of skipped around. After that ball goes off his shin, he looks to be all right. He's returning to the mound to face number 9, the second baseman, Cole Jackson. They're going to let him take a few pitches here and see how that leg feels. That was a hot shot off his shin. He's definitely going to have a bruise tomorrow from that one. Hit back up the middle by Andon Mata. Don't forget to text in your shout-outs to 410-903-2715. That's 410-903-2715. Just text in. Tell me who you are, who you're rooting for, and where you're rooting from.
What was the error on the pitcher part? Was it
Was it a really hard hit ball that he couldn't get, or was it one he should have got?
Ball outside to Cole Jackson. Ball 1. 1 ball. No strikes now. Trying to steal second is Andon Mata. And he's in there safely. Throw was close, but then it got over the glove of the second baseman into the outfield. So a stolen base for Mata, and that puts a runner in scoring position for Texas. For the second baseman, number 9, Cole Jackson, he squares to bunt. Doesn't offer at it. The ball's too high. 2 balls, 1 strike now on Jackson. Mata led off this inning with a single. Now he stands on second base. Mata. Or Jackson hits one hard back up the middle. The play is not made at first base. Able to leg out the single is Cole Jackson. He's able to move the runner, Mata, over to third base. So that's an infield single for Cole Jackson. And now runners at the corners for Texas with no outs here in the top of the second. Good luck, Marty Lovingood from Herx Electric. Thank you for that shout out. Taking second base is Cole Jackson. And in there safely underneath the tag. So now 2 in scoring position after the stolen base from Cole Jackson. Number 11, the right fielder, Xander Mason. Up to the plate with a chance to do some damage here with 2 in scoring position. Wishing the best of luck to Texas West Rusk Raiders from Mimi and Aunt Bitsy and Uncle Gary in New London, Texas. Thank you for that shout out. Way ahead of that pitch is Mason. He swung through that off-speed pitch. He was looking for a fastball, but a little early on it. 2 in scoring position with no outs. Next pitch bounces to the plate for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Mason. As Texas is looking to break through here in the second inning. 1-2 pitch outside, ball 2. 2-2 the count. Want to shout out to Ty Harper and his mom, and we want to tell him that we're proud of him and we want him to enjoy himself and have fun. Thank you for that shout out. 2-2 pitch. A little high, ball 3, full count now to Xander Mason. As Charlie Melton is in danger of walking the bases loaded with no outs here in the top of the second. After striking out the side in the first. This one hit hard by Mason, but it's foul past first base. Shout out to KM Lucas Saldo from Brother and Mimi. Good luck to the Texas players, Andon Mata and his family in Abilene, Texas. Full count on Mason. Mata standing on third, Jackson standing on second. And that's strike 3. Going down looking is Xander Mason with no swing. 4 strikeout for Charlie Melton. First out of this inning as he's trying to get out of this 2-in scoring position jam that he finds himself in after 2 leadoff singles to start the second inning. Strutting in now is number 10, the shortstop, Garnet Sipes. Swings on the first pitch and fouls it back. On deck is Tate Winnings, number 32. Sitting on third base is Andon Mata. On second is Cole Jackson as Texas looks to break through here in the top of the second. Your score still tied up at 0. Squaring to bunt, popping it straight back to the pitcher. As Sipes tries to lay one down with the squeeze bunt, but he pops it in the air, and charging hard is Charlie Melton, and he snags it right out of the air for the second out. Now just 1 out away from getting out of this jam as number 32, Tate Winnings, steps in. Texas had runners on second and third with no outs. Now it's second and third with 2 outs. As Charlie Melton looks to work some magic and get himself out of this inning without giving up a run. First pitch gets behind the catcher, and it's getting away from the catcher and the pitcher, but not far enough away for Mata to advance from third. Ball 1 on Winnings. 1 ball, no strikes. It bounced off the brick behind home plate, and number 14, Cole Irby, couldn't handle it, but Melton, charging quickly, was able to get on that ball and hold Mata from third. 1-1 the count after the strike was just thrown by Melton. 1-1 pitch. Finds the zone, strike 2. Melton 1 strike away from getting out of this second inning. 1-2 pitch. Then the catcher throws down to third base. They got Mata in a rundown, and they tag him out. The catcher, Cole Irby, gets the ball that was too high. It would have been a 2-2 count, but then he sees that Mata's too far off third base. He fires down to third. They catch him in a rundown, and that's going to end the inning. Some impressive defense helps Charlie Melton get out of the second inning. Texas fails to score after the first 2 runners hit singles and advance to scoring position with no outs. Now North Carolina has a chance in the bottom of the second. As number 10, the shortstop, Tucker Cash, will be leading off the bottom of the second inning. If you want your very own DVD of any game broadcast during this year's Dixie Youth Baseball, Ozone World Series, simply email info@jockjive.com and we'll get the process started for you. DVDs are $10 per game plus shipping and handling. That's info@jockjive.com. Leading off will be number 10, Tucker Cash, to begin this bottom of the second inning. The shortstop, the right-handed batter, steps in against Will Jackson, who was able to work his way out of the first inning without giving up a run. First pitch is fouled back by Cash. Next pitch is low for ball one. 1-1 the count now to the leadoff batter in this second inning, Tucker Cash. Will Jackson sets to deliver the 1-1 pitch. It's a little too far outside, ball two. If you want to send in a shout out, 410-903-2715 is your shout out number. Thank you for watching this evening. We're going to have one more game up after this. It's going to be scheduled for an 8 o'clock start time here on Field 3, Louisiana and Virginia. Two 1 pitch is too far outside, ball three now on Tucker Cash. 3 balls, 1 strike as Will Jackson struggling to find the strike zone here in the beginning of this bottom of the second inning. 3-1 pitch finds the zone, strike 3. Looks like I missed a strike there. My apologies. I thought it was 3-1, but it was a full count. And that's a strikeout. Tucker Cash goes down looking. Third strikeout for Will Jackson. That's the first out of the bottom of the second. That's going to bring up number 12, the second baseman, Marty Lovingood. Have a shout out coming in. Good luck to Andon Mata from Annalise, Kaylee, and Ryland. Thank you for that shout out. Strike 1 on Lovingood as he watches the first pitch. Want to let my nephew, Xander Mason, and his teammates know that we are proud. Go Raiders from Brad Cheek. Thank you for that. Ball hit straight up in the air and caught by Will Jackson as he takes a few steps off the mound and brings in that short pop-up by Lovingood. 2 quick outs for North Carolina here to begin this second inning. 2 up, 2 down as number 4, the first baseman, Nick Cole, strides in, trying to get on base here in the bottom of the second. First pitch was outside for ball 1, though. Nick Cole, the first baseman, number 4, right-handed batter, ahead in the count 1-0. The 1-0 pitch finds the zone, though. Count goes even. 1-1 on deck is number 45, the third baseman, Colton Mays. One pitch is too low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now on Nick Cole. So he looks to be the first base runner this inning for North Carolina. Trying to actually pick up the first hit for North Carolina. They have yet to record a hit against Will Jackson. 3 balls, 1 strike now on the first baseman. Jackson did walk a batter in the first inning, Charlie Melton, so they've had a base runner, just not via the hit yet. This one hit hard to center field. It's going to be a tough play for the shortstop, and it gets over his head, and that's going to be a single for Nick Cole, the first single for North Carolina. Actually, I said it was the shortstop. It was the second baseman that was actually trying to range out there and catch that ball in right center field. It was a tough play for Cole Jackson. He tried to make the over-the-shoulder catch as he was ranging back to get that one, but it bounced off his glove. Good attempt made there by the second baseman, but just unable to make the play. That's a 2-out base runner for North Carolina that brings up Colton Mays. Number 45, the third baseman for North Carolina, bats with a 2-out base runner. This one makes it to the backstop, but unable to advance on it is Nick Cole. That's ball 1 on Mays. Good luck to Will and Cole Jackson and the rest of the great players from Texas. We're pulling from you, and we're so proud of you. From Grammy and Big Ron Judy. Thank you for that. This one also gets over the head of the catcher. Trying to take second is Nick Cole, and he's in there safely. The throw from Texas's catcher was well offline, and Nick Cole able to take second base pretty easily on the errant throw from Texas's catcher, Carson Martin. 2 balls, no strikes as 2 pitches from Will Jackson in a row reached the backstop. Now a runner in scoring position for North Carolina here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. 2-0 pitch. This one a little closer to the zone. Doesn't get to the backstop, but still a ball. 3 balls, no strikes now. Go Raiders. We're proud of you. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Brian and Sharon Keith, thank you for that shout out. 3-0 the count now on the third baseman, number 45, Colton Mays. 3-0 pitch coming in from Will Jackson. Little low, ball 4, 4-pitch walk. 2 on now for North Carolina as they try to get the 2-out rally going. Number 17, Branson Butchard strides in. Number 17, the right-handed batter, steps in with 2 on and 2 outs. Standing on second is Nick Cole. He reached on a single and then stole second. Colton May stands on first after the 4-pitch walk. Nearing 6:45 here in Oxford, Alabama. Our next game is scheduled for an 8 o'clock start. We're in the bottom of the second here with 2 outs. First pitch too far inside on Butchard for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes now. One 1-0 pitch comes in. That one does find the zone for strike 1 after 5 straight balls thrown by Will Jackson. He finds the zone, count even at 1 on Branson Butchard, number 17. The 9-hole hitter for North Carolina steps in with 2 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Jackson checks first base. Colton Mays back safely. Pitch comes in, fouled back by Butchard. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on number 17. As Jackson's 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. One, 2 pitch. That one's no attempt by Butcher, but it's called strike 3. And that will end the inning after 2 get on with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. A strikeout by Will Jackson, his 3rd of the game. 4th of the game actually ends the inning. We head to the 3rd. No score between North Carolina and Texas in this Dixie Youth Baseball Ozone World Series Day 1 action between Texas and North Carolina. These teams battling to stay in the winner's bracket. Double elimination tournament here. Definitely want to. You don't want to be facing elimination tomorrow, and that's what these 2 teams are trying to do. Good luck, number 2, Carson Martin, catcher for Texas from the residents of Lake Tyler and Tyler, Texas. Come on, Kings Mountain, you guys can do this. Thank you for those 2 shout-outs. After this game is over, you can watch the action again and again on JockJive.com. Go to the same spot you watch the live coverage and watch the archives. Or if you want a DVD of any game of the Florida Dixie Youth Baseball Ozone World Series, email info@JockJive.com and we'll get the process started for you. Coming up in August on JockJive.com, the AAA Ozone and Majors Dixie Youth World Series, the Dixie Youth Baseball World Series, the Georgia Military College Football, Navarre Football, Great American Rivalries, and so much more. Plus this fall, SWAC football, soccer, and volleyball, plenty of high school football, and the ACC Game of the Week and more. A litany of reasons you need to come back to JockJive.com often. Returning to the mound, For North Carolina is Charlie Melton. We have, hi, this is Ty Harper's sister, and I want to wish Ty and his teammates good luck. Thank you for that. The Texas pitcher is on fuego. From Uncle Ash, thank you for that. It says Will Jackson's on fire. He's hot. He's not giving up a run yet, but neither of these pitchers has. Charlie Melton had runners on second and third with no outs in that second inning, but worked his way out of it. He struck out Xander Mason. He got a fly out from Sipes, and then they caught Anton Mata in the rundown. So Ty Winnings gets to lead off here in the third inning, even though he was at bat in that second inning. First pitch gets behind him for ball one. Bailey Hughes stands on deck. Cole Minor in the hole for Texas. Then we have Omarion Anthony before we turn the lineup over to Ty Harper. Third inning. Still scoreless here in Oxford, Alabama between Texas and North Carolina. Pitch comes in. This one bounces to the plate, gets to the backstop. As Tate Winings is ahead in the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 pitch. Bounce back up the middle. Straight to Melton. Melton fields it. Fires to first for the first out. Ground out for Winings. To bring up Bailey Hughes. Number 12 for Texas. Let's go Kings Mountain. Number 1 in our hearts and number 1 on the field. Hashtag beat Texas Kings Mountain YMCA. Go Carson Martin. We are rooting for you at home, watching online. Love Papa, Nana, Aunt Kelly, Abby, and Jake. Bailey Hughes steps in now as we have a meeting on the mound for this Texas team. The whole infield is in talking with Charlie Melton and the manager, Jake Jackson, I can assume. The 2 coaches, Scott Martin and Kyle Mason, along with this Texas, or actually that's North Carolina out there, so it'll be Mike Mole with Shane Cole and William Strope. Bailey Hughes gets his first plate appearance here in the third. Top of the third with 1 out and nobody on. No one has scratched or run across yet. We're going to have a new pitcher on the mound, it looks like, for North Carolina. The new pitcher is going to be Marty Lovingood. He'll replace Charlie Melton. Charlie Melton goes 2 1/3 innings. He doesn't allow a run. He strikes out 4 batters, allows 3 hits. But most importantly, he didn't allow Texas to score. He led off this top of the third with an out. So he goes 2 1/3. Now, Lovingood just needs 2 outs to get out of this top of the third to get his team back into the dugout. Still tied up at 0-0. We'll see how the new pitcher does for North Carolina here against Bailey Hughes, number 12. Bailey Hughes, number 12, stands in for the first pitch coming in from Loving Good, but it's outside for ball one. Swung through for a strike. 1-1 the count now on Hughes. Pitch in. Strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Hughes. This pitch is off the plate for a ball. 2-2 the count now on Hughes. Swung through, strike 3. Hughes goes after the 2-2 pitch, doesn't make contact, and that's a strikeout. Marty Lovingood strikes out the first pitcher or first batter that he sees for the second out of the top of the third to bring up Cole Minor, number 1.
I'll sit here and read this kid's name, Cole Minor. Why would you do that to a child?
First pitch in to Cole Minor is outside for a ball. This one fouled back by Cole Minor for strike 1. One pitch. Now, finds the zone, finds the corner of the plate for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Cole Minor as Lovingood looks for his second strikeout to get North Carolina out of this inning. But this one bounces to the plate for ball 2. 2-2 the count now on Cole Minor. Two-two pitch swung through by Cole Minor, strike 3. Lovingood comes in, faces 2 batters, strikes out both of them. And we head to the bottom of the third. Our score still tied up at 0. Texas 0, North Carolina 0. We'll see if the bottom of the 3 of the North Carolina order can start anything off in the third inning. Jordan Mole, Lucas Saldo, and Mark Allen, the 3 due up when we get set for the bottom of the third. Taking the mound for Texas will be Xander Mason. He'll replace Will Jackson. Jackson pitches 2 innings. Strikes out 4 batters. Only allows 1 hit. Walks 2, and most importantly, does not give up a run. It'll be Xander Mason's job now to hold down the North Carolina lineup and the bottom 3 of the order coming up and keep this game tied up at 0. And we'll see how he does now on the mound, taking over for Will Jackson. We've got a close one here in Oxford, Alabama. Still tied up at 0. Pitching duel. Sun is setting over to your right. Beautiful picture there on your screen of the sun going down. The lights coming on over the ballpark. And these teams, day 1 of this World Series here in Oxford, Alabama, the Ozone World Series for the Dixie Youth Baseball, and these teams trying to battle it out for the title. Winner stays in the winner's bracket. Loser will face elimination tomorrow. Way to go, Carson Martin.
Texas is number 11.
All right, so Xander Mason takes the mound to face off against number 6, Jordan Mole, the right fielder. Xander Mason's first pitch is too low for ball 1. Mole takes a hard cut, and that pitch swings right through it for strike 1. 1-1 the count now. One pitch. Floats its way into the zone for strike 2. Mole down on Mason. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Let's go, Mar. Mow him down. Marty's favorite team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a tidbit for you. Well, I have to agree with him. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are awesome. As Mason strikes out Jordan Mole right there for the first out of the inning. Tampa Bay Buccaneers also my favorite team. I got a Tampa Bay Rays shirt on right now. Big all Tampa fan. Happy birthday to Garrett Sipes. Thank you for that. Big happy birthday to number 10, the shortstop for Texas, who gets to play in a World Series game on his birthday. That's pretty cool. Now number 2, Lucas Aldo steps in. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd after Xander Mason struck out the first batter. Now Saldo swings on the first pitch, pops it to second base for the second out. 2 quick outs to begin this bottom of the 3rd inning. That brings up number 50, Mark Allen, the last batter. So come on, Lucas Saldo, hit that ball. Well, he hit it, but unfortunately, Texas was right there to catch it for the second out to bring up Mark Allen, the last batter in this North Carolina lineup. He swings through the first pitch for strike 1, foul tip into the glove. Oh, 1 pitch. Just off the plate for ball 1. Got a pitcher's duel going on here. 0-0 our score over to our left there in the 3rd inning. 2-1 the score between Georgia and Mississippi. So close games all around this time in our 5:45 games in this Ozone bracket. The winners will play each other from the games going on here, and the losers will play each other tomorrow in an elimination game. Pitch comes in, swung on by Allen. He can't make contact. The count is now 2-2 on big number 50. Go Carson, whoop whoop. 2-2 pitch just off the outside of the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That was a close pitch. Good eye by Mark Allen to watch that one. Two outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Bebe Moore, the leadoff batter, stands on deck for North Carolina. But he's not going to get a chance to bat in this inning as Mark Allen swings through that pitch, and that's a strikeout. Xander Mason comes in, strikes out 2, gets a fly out from Lucas Saldo, and the side for North Carolina goes down 1-2-3. We head to the 4th. We're still scoreless here in Oxford, Alabama. Omarion Anthony will be leading off for Texas. Then the top of the lineup will come back around. We'll see if the second time through the lineup, if these teams can get anything going. We've played 3. No runs have come across just yet. If you want your very own DVD of any game broadcast during this year's Dixie Youth Baseball Ozone World Series, simply email info@jockjive.com and we'll get the process started. DVDs are $10 per game, plus shipping and handling. That's info@jockjive.com. Go Tate Winings from your brother Talon. Thank you for that shout out. All of our games are broadcast live, which is what you're watching right now, but they're all also archived. So these players can go back and watch the games afterwards, or you can watch the game anytime you want afterwards. So all of your shout-outs will be heard by these players, as if they go home and watch the game, they'll be able to see themselves play. I live in Florida, so I did a lot of the Dixie Youth Baseball Florida State tournaments. And I can say the broadcasts are a big hit with all the kids out there. We were in East Lakeland, and we had plenty of rain delays, and the kids were watching their games from earlier during the rain delays. So they'll hear those shout-outs, so keep them coming so they know that you were watching them from wherever you are. If you couldn't make it here to Oxford, Alabama, we're happy that we can bring the game to you. First pitch to Omeron Anthony is outside for ball one. Marty Lovingood still on the mound for North Carolina. He came in that third inning with one out and struck out Bailey Hughes and Cole Minor. Pitch comes in, and that's a strike on Anthony. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. On number 4, the left fielder. This pitch fouled back. Count stays 1-2. Good luck, Tate Winings from Tyree Wilson. Omarion Mays up to the plate. He fouls that one back. And Anthony watches that pitch go by. Strike 3. Lovingood has faced 3 batters, and he struck out all 3 for the first out of the top of the 4th. We head to the top of the lineup for Texas now. Ty Harper steps in. He struck out to lead off the game, but that was against Charlie Melton. We'll see if he can do better here against Lovingood. First pitch is not in the strike zone for ball 1. Next pitch is also out of the zone. 2 balls, no strikes on Ty Harper, number 5, the center fielder. Our game coming up after this here on Field 3 will be Louisiana and Virginia. Alabama and Florida will play over on Field 2. That's your nightcap of this 3-game triple header here on JockJive.com. 2 balls, 1 strikes on Ty Harper. We'll crown a champion on Thursday. Shout out to Ty Harper. Nana wants to know that she loves you. Shout out Ty Harper. Harper hits one down the left field line, but that one's foul. Go Carson, number 2. So proud of you. Love Abby. Thank you for that shout out. Carson Martin for Texas, the catcher number 2, who they're rooting for there. Pitch into Harper again, fouled off. Back behind the plate. As we've passed 7 o'clock here in Oxford, Alabama. 7:07 the time reads. This game been going on for nearly 50 minutes, and we still don't have a run here in the top of the fourth. Pitch into Harper, too far outside. The count runs full on the center fielder for Texas. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout, but a chance to get on base here. Loving Good in danger of giving up his first base runner since entering the game. And that's going to do it. Ball 4, too high. Loving Good tries to throw the off-speed pitch, but it gets away from him too high. Ty Harper takes first base via the walk, and that's a one-out base runner for Texas as they trying to get something going. Will Jackson, number 21, who started on the mound for Texas, now stands in. He singled in the first. He's 1 for 1 on the day. And that single, although, was against Charlie Mountain. First pitch finds the zone, strike 1. Given the outside corner today is the home plate umpire. No balls, 1 strikes. Way to sling that mud, Xander, from Uncle Brad. Uncle Brad, thank you for that. They check Harper at first, but he's back safely. Beautiful night for baseball here in Oxford, Alabama. The first night of this Dixie Youth Baseball Ozone World Series. Texas and North Carolina battling out. A hit and run for North Carolina, and the out is going to be made at first base as Will Jackson grounds out, but Ty Harper was attempting to steal, and that ball hit to the first base side. Lets Ty Harper motor from first to third on the infield single. Good piece of running by Ty Harper. Unfortunately, Will Jackson does pick up the ground out. So 2 outs and a runner on third for Texas now. For Carson Martin, the catcher, number 2, who struck out on 3 pitches in his first plate appearance. Marty Lovingood is going to have to make some big pitches here if he doesn't want Texas to get on the board here in the top of the fourth. Texas looking for a big hit to try to crack the scoreboard here in this 4th inning. First pitch in. This one hit hard back up the middle, right to the shortstop. Play at first, and it's there in time. Great play by North Carolina's shortstop, number 10, Tucker Cash, to fire over to first, and that's a ground out for Carson Martin. The runner at third is unable to come around to score. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Your score is still knotted up at 0. The top of the order will be coming up for North Carolina. Bebe Moore will be leading off the bottom of the 4th. Looks like Xander Mason will retake the mound for North Carolina. He set down the bottom, or retake the mound for Texas. He set down the bottom of the North Carolina lineup. 1, 2, 3 in that 3rd inning. Do you need a sports fix, whether 24/7, whether live or archived? You can get it on JockJive.com. We have multiple channels with multiple sporting events and shows from practically every level of competition. There's ACCC, GCAA, Georgia Military Channel, DYB, Dixie Baseball, Georgia Highland Softball channels, and so much more. JockJive.com for those insatiable sports appetites. We'll see if the second time through the lineup treats North Carolina any better, as neither team has been able to score so far. Pitching duel here in Oxford, Alabama, between Texas and North Carolina. 2-1 is our score over to our left in the 4th inning between Georgia and Mississippi. Shout out to Texas, Cole Miner from Uncle Malcolm in Plano, Texas. Thank you for that shout out. The score over on the other field is 2-1. Mississippi is the one leading over Georgia. The winner of that Mississippi-Georgia game will go on to face the winner of this game. Two close games going on right here between these two teams. Laying down a bunt, here's Bebe Moore, but pouncing on it quickly is Xander Mason. He fires the first for the first out. One pitch, one out to start this bottom of the fourth inning. That's a ground out for Moore to bring up number 14, the catcher, Cole Irby, who struck out in his first plate appearance. Shout out to my little brother Carson and his team. Let's go. Shout out to number 12, Marty Lovingood from Mama and Pawpaw. Lovingood in Tennessee. Thank you for that. Congratulations, North Carolina. You got this, KJ Bell. Hook'em Tate from Uncle Bullet. Number 14, Cole Irby steps in. 1 ball, no strikes on him. He's 0 for 1 on the day, trying to get on base here with 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. As looks like Mississippi has plated another run to our left. 3-1 their lead now over Georgia. They're in the fourth inning. This pitch is too low. 3 balls, no strikes now on Cole Irby. .30 pitch. Finds the zone, strike 1. Three balls, 1 strike now. As Xander Mason looks to avoid his first walk, but he can't. He called that strike 2. Cole Irby thought he had ball 4. Threw his bat over to the dugout and was started headed to first base, but the home plate umpire is going to call him back. And the count's going to move to full. Cole Irby was sure that ball was too high. But now he's back with the full count, and Xander Mason still has him at the plate. Full count pitch coming into Cole Irby as the coach talks to him to get his head back into that one. Let's go, Carson. We love you from Aunt Pepe. Thank you for that shout out. Full count pitch, hit down the third base line, throw over to first is in time for the second out. From thinking you're going to be on first base with the walk, grounding out down the third base line is Cole Irby. That's the second out of the bottom of the fourth to bring up Charlie Melton, who walked in the top of the first, actually the bottom of the first. As Xander Mason's trying to set the North Carolina side down 1-2-3 again. He did it in the third. Now he's trying to do it in the fourth. This ball fouled back by Melton. The first pitch he sees, he's down 0-1. Shout out to Carson Martin from the Week Rusk team from Carlsey. Thank you for that shout out. Strike 2 now on Melton. No balls, 2 strikes on number 5, the man who started on the mound for North Carolina today. Mason looking for his third strikeout. He's got Melton down 0-2, but Melton stays alive with a foul. Hit straight back. Shout out from the Gray fam. We love you. A nice little blue heart emoji there. Shout out to Carson Martin from the Gray fam. We love you. Carson Martin is at the plate right now. He's down 0-2, but he watches that pitch too low for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. This one hit hard down the third base side. This one gets off the glove of Texas's third baseman. There's going to be no play at third. And that's going to be Melton's going to be on first via the air. E5 puts Melton on first base. That error is made by, I believe it was Andon Mata out there at third. Let's go, Texas. Bailey Hughes, you can do this from Mimi. Pulling for the Texas boys. Representing West Rusk very well. Love, Miss Spencer. Thank you for that. Now number 7, Bennett Davis strides in. He's 0 for 1 with the ground out. But with a runner on first base with 2 outs, North Carolina looking to get the 2-out rally going. Chu throws over to first to check Charlie Melton from Xander Mason. That's the first base runner against Mason today, and it came via the air. Taking off for second base is Melton, and that ball gets to the outfield. Now he's headed for third, and he's there safely. Speed at first base pays off as the pitcher, or the starting pitcher for North Carolina rather, takes second, ball gets to the outfield, and then he takes third, goes from first to third, and now 1 bag away from taking the lead is North Carolina. They need a big hit from Bennett Davis to do so to break open this scoreless tie. As this one gets into the dirt, but no advance made by Melton as he's dancing around there at third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Davis. Itching to head home is Charlie Melton. We'll see if Davis gives him a chance to do so. All of this because of the error on the third baseman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one hit. Popped up to the first base side. And that catch is made. That will end the inning. Slamming his bat on the ground is Bennett Davis. Mad at himself, he wasn't able to take advantage of that opportunity with the runner on third. That's a fly out for Davis. And we've got 2 innings left. We head to the top of the 5th. Still no score here between Texas and North Carolina. Leading off the 5th inning will be Clayton Keith. Number 3, the first baseman. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Looks like Lovingood will return to the mound for North Carolina. He's been pitching well so far. Hasn't allowed a hit. He's stricken out 3 and walked 1. After today's game is over, you can watch the action again and again on JockJive.com. Go to the same spot you watch the live coverage and watch the archives. If you want a DVD of any game of the Florida Dixie Youth Ozone World Series, email info@jockjive.com, and we can get that process started for you. Home run Carson Martin, we love you. Watch it back home. Concord, Texas, Aunt Kelly, Abby, and Papa. Thanks for that shout out. These 2 teams are in a heated battle here. Neither of them wants to fall to the loser's bracket. They're trying to stay alive as the sun continues to set here in Oxford, Alabama. The lights coming on. Beautiful facility here in Oxford. We got 4 fields in action here, 2 fields in action in the other set of fields. A lot of baseball going on right now. Go Tate, Winings, Texas Forever, Dalton, Dylan, and Nita Grace. And so we got 2 innings left unless we need extras. Neither of these teams have scored yet. Texas and North Carolina tied up at 0. Both have threatened. The big hit hasn't come as of yet. Returning to the mound, Marty Lovingood. And the first pitch into Clayton Keith is too far outside for ball 1. Keith is 0-1 on the day with the strikeout. Number 3, the first baseman for Texas. Swings the bat around, the left-handed batter, and is set for the 1-0 pitch. That one finds the zone, count even at 1. Go Baby Juice KM number 2. This ball bounces to the plate. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Let's go Uncle Tate and the Texas Raiders from Layton and Presley. Thanks for that shout out. We want to give a shout out to the coaches of the Raiders. It's the Texas side, Jake Jackson, Scott Martin, Kyle Mason. There's a good shout out for you. This one ripped into the gap in between center field and right field. That's going to be a single for Clayton Keith. He put a good swing on that loving good pitch, and he's on first with the single with no outs here in the top of the 5th as Texas looks to get something going here in the 5th inning. That's the first hit for Texas since the 2nd inning. Great piece of hitting there by Clayton Keith. As one of the coaches from, looks like the Texas side has come out to talk to our home plate umpire. Not sure what for, but they're having a casual talk there. It looks like the umpires are now all going to come in and have a conference out there in the diamond. Don't forget to like JockJive on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. We're trying to reach 10,000 Facebook likes and 1,000 Twitter followers this summer. We need your help to get there. And when you like us on Facebook, we keep you updated on scores, schedules, game status, and so much more. So go to JockJive.com and follow the shortcuts to all the social media, or simply put JockJive Sports in the search engine of Facebook or at JockJive on Twitter. Plus, don't forget you also can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's go, Ty. I love you. Good luck. This is his big brother, Lajavius. Thanks for that. Big brother of Ty Harper. And it looks like we're going to have a pitch runner. Out there at first base, Clayton Keith is going to come off. And headed on is number 4, Omarion Anthony, to run. Texas realizes the importance of that run at first base here in the top of the 5th with 2 innings left. They want some speed out there at first, so they send Anthony out to pitch run for the first baseman, Clayton Keith. And Don Mata stands in now. This is a dangerous part of the lineup. Mata and Cole Jackson both hit singles in their last plate appearance. The last 2 hits in the 2nd inning for Texas. So if they can repeat that, Texas actually had, when these 2 guys got singles in the 2nd, they had runners on 2nd and 3rd with no outs, and they were unable to get a run. But now with a runner on first and speed on first, dangerous times for North Carolina. And Marty Lovingood, he's going to have to pitch well here to get out of this one as he checks first. Anthony over there. As he inches off first base, looking to take second. First pitch in to Mata is hit hard and far, but that one's off the fence. In center field, headed for third base is Anthony. And scampering back to third is Anthony, and in second with no throw is Mata. A double for Mata with no outs here. Second and third again with no outs for Texas. After that shot after Andon's Mata bat goes all the way to the fence. Line drive straight off the fence in center field. Brings up Cole Jackson, who's 1 for 1 on the day with a single. Number 9, the second baseman, with runners on second and third with no outs as Texas looks to break this scoreless tie here in the 5th inning. Let's go, Texas, from Tyree Wilson and Talon Whining. First pitch into Jackson. Is swung on and hit to the first base side. That's going to score the run from third base. Anthony comes in to score from third. Ground out RBI from Jackson. Moving up to third base is Mana, and Texas has broken our scoreless tie here in the top of the fifth. With the runner on third, that brings up Xander Mason, number 11, the right fielder, who struck out in his first plate appearance. He's going to have a chance to bat now with the ability to bring in another run. Yes, way to go, Raiders, from the Farquhars. Texas is celebrating that run as we've had a close one here today. This one, a hot shot into center field. That one's going to get down. Texas is going to plate another run. An RBI single from Xander Mason doubles Texas's lead here in the top of the fifth. And they now lead North Carolina 2-0 here in the top of the fifth inning. Score update over from the other Ozone field to our left. Mississippi now has a 4-1 lead over Georgia in the fourth inning. Texas now has a 2-0 lead over North Carolina here in the top of the fifth. After the RBI single from Xander Mason brings up the birthday boy, number 10, Garrett Sipes. Shout out to Carson and Scott Martin. Good luck. Love, Mom and Nana. This one by Sipes is fouled back for strike one. A single by Clayton Keith. A double by Anton Mana. An RBI ground out from Cole Jackson. And then an RBI single from Xander Mason. Plates 2 runs for Texas here on the top of the fifth. And they lead North Carolina 2-0. In what's been a tightly competitive game all day between these two teams. This pitch too far inside for a ball. Stealing second base without a throw is Mason. 1-1 the count now on Sipes. Shout out to Carson and Scott Martin. Good luck, love you from Mom and Nana. This one hit hard into center field. Not that deep, though, and that's not going to let Mason tag up. Sipes with the fly out for the second out of the top of the fifth. Let's go, Cole Jackson. Go Texas from Judy. Hey, Carson. This is McCallie, your cousin. We met at Delaney's graduation party. Heard you're playing in the World Series against North Carolina. Good luck. Super cool to have a cousin that can do that. Rep that 903, boys, from Talon. Nice hit, Zan, man. Go North Carolina from Jackson and Jamal. Way to play ball, Texas. As Texas has broken our scoreless tie here in the top of the fifth. 2-0 lead over North Carolina. Runner at second is Xander Mason for Tate Winings, who watches the strike go by. A single could add another run to the Texas lead. The count is 0-2, though, on Winings. Number 32 for Texas. 0-2 pitch coming in from Lovingood. Swung on. Strike 3. That's going to end the inning. But 6 batters come to the plate for Texas in the fifth, and 2 runs come across. Your score is now Texas 2, North Carolina nothing as we head to the bottom of the fifth. We'll see if North Carolina can respond. They've got 6 outs to do so. Leading off the fifth inning will be Tucker Cash. Number 10, the shortstop for North Carolina. Shout out to West Rusk team from Aiden, Crystal, Rusty, Kylie, and Martin. And Carson Martin is number 1. Thanks for those shout outs. Keep them coming at 410-903-2715. I'm Anthony Crum with JockJive.com. Happy to bring this game to you tonight. We have a close one going on between Texas and North Carolina. We have one more game coming up tonight. That's Virginia and Louisiana. Hope you stick around for that one. The winner of this game will be in action tomorrow night at 8 o'clock against the winner of Georgia and Mississippi, which Georgia is leading that game, actually trailing Mississippi right now, 4-1. Mississippi 4-1 lead over Georgia. So the winner of this game will place the winner of that game tomorrow night at 8 p.m. if you're trying to follow your team. The loser of this game will face the loser of that game tomorrow at 3:30. So mark those times down so you can make sure you know when your two teams are playing. Let's go KM number 2. Looks like we have a new pitcher out there. Nope, never mind. He was going to stay. Looks like the pitcher is going to stay, Xander Mason, on the mound for Texas against the leadoff batter for North Carolina, Tucker Cash. And the first pitch is ball 1. Your score after the top of the 5th, Texas 2, North Carolina 0 after they break the scoreless tie with 2 RBI hits. This one hit softly down the third base line. Throw to first is off target, and that's going to put Cash on first on the E6. Actually, E5, rather. Error on the third baseman of Texas. Andon Mata allows the leadoff batter to reach, Tucker Cash.
Hey, can you see the number of the pitcher?
So the leadoff batter of this inning reaches via the air. The throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and North Carolina's in business here in the bottom of the 5th. Marty Lovingood, the pitcher, strides in now, trying to help his team out. Good luck, coal miner. Aunt Christy and the girls are so proud of you. Wish we could be there. We're pulling for you, Charlie, from Emma L, Sally, and MS here in KM. This pitch does not find the zone. The count on Marty Lovingood is 2 balls and no strikes with the runner on first after the air. Shout out to Carson. Ball 3. This one gets away. Taking off for second is Cash, and he's in there safely. Scoring position now for North Carolina with no outs. Shout out to Carson, Scott Martin, and the rest of you in Rusk, Texas. Bring home the win. We couldn't be any prouder of you. Of y'all. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for a small school team. Thank you for that. So proud of Carson. Love Emily. North Carolina trying to come back on Texas here, though. Texas scored 2 in the top of the 5th. Now North Carolina has 1 in scoring position with no outs here in the bottom of the inning, and that's a walk against Lovingood. And that puts 2 on with no outs. Tying run now on base for North Carolina here in the bottom of the 5th. Xander Mason is going to have to pitch his art out here if he wants to keep North Carolina off the board. Number 4, Nick Cole, the first baseman, steps in. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a single. Actually, he hit the last single for North Carolina, the only single for North Carolina today. He has the only hit for this North Carolina team. Strike 1. Score update from our field to our left. Georgia trying to come back. The score now 4-2. This one hit hard, but a pop fly, soft pop fly in the infield, ranging over from his second base position. Cole Jackson brings that one down for the first out. Big first out for Xander Mason. That brings up Colton Mays. Number 45, the third baseman from North Carolina. He's 0 for 1 or 0 for 0, doesn't have a plate appearance. He walked in his first time up. Strides in with 1 out and 2 men on, tying run. Stands on first base. Go Texas, have fun. Hope you win the World Series. We love you all. So proud of my grandson, Carson Martin. With your talent, it doesn't surprise me you're playing in the World Series. Thank you for those shout-outs. Keep them coming at 410-903-2715. 2 balls, or 2-0, our score here. North Carolina trying to come back, though. Let's go, Texas. With 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Standing in is Colton Mays. This pitch comes in, but too high for a ball. We love you, Popsy. Next pitch from Mason comes in, and that one finds the zone for a strike. It's a strike on Colton Mays. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on the third baseman, number 45 for North Carolina. Tying run stands on first base. Next pitch in from Mason, although is too high for ball 2. Count even at 2 now on the third baseman. Mays represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Texas scored 2 in the top of the 5th to break our scoreless tie. North Carolina trying to come back here in the bottom of the 5th. Count now full on the third baseman. Mason in danger of walking them loaded with 1 out. Colton Mays steps in. This pitch comes in, hit hard to the backstop. Go Coal Miner. Kalen and Kinsey are cheering our team on from home. Go Texas, have fun. Hopefully you all win and bring home that trophy. Full count into the third baseman. His pitch comes in and too low. Ball 4, bases loaded for North Carolina in the bottom of the 5th. With 1 out. Tying run is at second. Go-ahead run is at first for Brayson Butchard, the last batter in the North Carolina order before we turn the lineup over. Surprisingly, North Carolina still only has 1 hit today. They had an error to get the leadoff batter on. Now 2 walks in this inning, loads them up. As they're out now talking. The infield is in. The coaches are out for this Texas team. This is a huge inning for them. They plated 2 runs in that 5th to take the 2-0 lead, but now they are in danger of letting that lead go away, as Texas has loaded them up here in the bottom of the 5th with only 1 out. And that brings up Braylon Butchard. First pitch comes in. No offer at it for ball 1. No place to put him now for Xander Mason. Now ball 2. Xander Mason seems to be losing the zone here. 2 balls, no strikes on number 17. Brayson Butchard. Shout out to number 2, Carson Martin. We love you so much. Y'all are amazing. Proud of y'all. 2 balls, no strike pitch. Again, a ball. 3 balls, no strikes now on number 17 for North Carolina. No place to put him. 1 more ball would walk a run in and move the tying run to third base. Xander Mason tries to find the zone here. And he does. Strike 1. Strike 2. Xander Mason comes back from a 3-0 count to make the count full. on Branson Butchard. Full count pitch, but that one doesn't find the zone. Ball 4, and a run comes in for North Carolina via the walk. The tying run moves to third. The go-ahead run moves to second. And that brings up the top of the lineup. Number 9, Bebe Moore, strides in. He's 0 for 2 on the day, and the day is done for Xander Mason.
Okay, who's coming in?
Kilgore, Texas is cheering you on, Carson Martin. Happy 2 months. Charlie, love Emma from KM. Big O, we love you. You the man, number 2, watching from home. Trout, Texas, so proud of you. Carson Martin, not Kelly. The new pitcher for Texas to try to get them out of this jam is going to be number 25, Andon Mata. He replaces Xander Mason. He takes over with the bags full. 1 out, bottom 5. His team now holding on, nursing to a run lead. Coincidentally, we also have a 1-run game over on our field to the left between Georgia and Mississippi. The score now Mississippi 4, Georgia 3 in the 5th. 2 close Ozone games going on here right now in Oxford, Alabama. The top of the lineup coming up for North Carolina as they try to get this comeback going. Texas plated 2 in the top of the 5th to break our scoreless tie. Now North Carolina trying to answer those 2 runs here with maybe more here in the bottom of the 5th. Bases loaded, only 1 out, tying run at 3rd, go-ahead run at 2nd, insurance run at 1st. And the top of the order is up now for North Carolina with number 9, the left fielder, Bebe Moore. Martin family cheering you on in East Texas. Thanks for that. Anton Mata. His job now to try to keep North Carolina from scoring any more runs. Double play is in effect. The infield's not in. This one hit hard back up the middle. Throw to the plate for the first out. Throw down to first, and they got a double play for Texas, and they get out of the inning. What a play by Anton Mata. He makes 1 pitch. The hit back up the middle by Bebe Moore. And he throws to the plate, then the throw down the first, and they get out of the inning. We head to the 6th. Texas gets out of the bases loaded jam, and they take the 1-run lead into the decisive 6th inning here. That was amazing. Shout out to Anton Mata and the Texas defense for getting out of that one. Deflating moment there for North Carolina as they now have to regroup and retake the field. They're still going to have a chance to come back in this one. It's only a 1-run game, but tough break for their offense there. The top of the lineup coming up for Texas as they look for some insurance runs here in the top of the 6th. Ty Harper will be leading off. Let's go, Carson Martin. Have fun, y'all. Love Texas. Go big or go home. We love y'all. East Texas, go West Ruck. Go Carson Martin is number 1. Love you, Abby. There's going to be a new pitcher on the mound for North Carolina to try to keep Texas off the board. Colton Mays strides in, replacing Marty Lovingood. What a clutch play made by Texas in that bottom of the inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. They bring in the new pitcher, Andon Mata. He gets the ground out from Bebe Moore. Fired right back to him, bounce to the plate. He fires it home for the first out. The catcher for Texas, Carson Martin fires down to first for the double play, and Texas gets out of the inning. We now head to the sixth. The score, Texas 2, North Carolina 1. Texas is going to have at least one more at bat here. And trying to add on to their lead, get some insurance runs against this North Carolina team who's been putting the pressure on them all day. Come on, Mays. 1-2-3 inning. This is for Bullet, the Harper from family. Thank you for that. As we've had a great game today. We have a great game, looks like, going on to our left between Georgia and Mississippi. Mississippi holding on to that 4-3 lead right now over Georgia. Georgia trying to make the comeback. North Carolina trying to make the comeback here. Texas trying to add some insurance runs. Ty Harper leading off the inning. Swings through the first pitch. Strike one to begin our sixth. Texas scores 2 in the fifth. North Carolina scores 1 in the fifth. And now we're in the decisive sixth inning. Squaring to bunt is Harper, but pulls it back when he sees that ball way out of the zone. 1-1 the count. That's our Texas Raiders. Keep it up, boys, from your Overton Sports family. 1-1 pitch. Comes in. A little too far out of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Ty Harper from the new pitcher, Colton Mays. North Carolina needs to hold Texas here. You don't want to have to get any more runs than you need to in the sixth. Strike 2. Golden opportunity for North Carolina to put on some runs in that fifth inning, but a terrific defensive play made by Texas to get him out of that one. Full count now on Ty Harper. And has to be a play that you look back on in the tournament as one of the best plays that you'll probably see from a defense at this level. Turning 2 with 1 out with the bases loaded. This one hit hard by Harper. This one's deep and back to right field. And the ball is caught out there in right field, right in front of the fence by North Carolina. The fans for North Carolina erupted with joy. I couldn't see the play via the dugout over there, but the North Carolina fans looked real happy, and Ty Harper is headed back to the dugout. So that's 1 out here in the top of the sixth. Ball was hit a long way by Harper, but not far enough. Will Jackson now stands in 1 for 2 on the day, the single and the ground out. Go Texas from Jackson and Jamal. Carson, you shined on that play. Now go make those home runs that you always do. New London loves you. Shout out to Carson Martin from Kaylee and Andon. Good luck. Carson Martin's a popular person, getting a lot of love today in the shout-out department. This one blooped into right field, and that one's going to get down for a single. Will Jackson on base with the 1-out single, and that brings up Carson Martin, number 2, the catcher. Let's do this. UN stopping awesomeness, and the rest will be history. 15 to number 2. Now a runner on first base with 1 out for Texas. Carson Martin gets a hold of that one. That one's deep, way back. He puts his hand in the air because he knows that one's gone. Carson Martin with the 2-run home run over the center field fence gives Texas the 4-1 lead here in the top of the sixth. That's the home run you all were looking for. Carson Martin hits the dinger over the center field fence, plates 2 runs for Texas, and they extend their lead to 4-1. A 1-out, 2-run home run by number 2, the catcher, Carson Martin. His first hit of the day, and he touches them all. Win or lose, Kings Mountain, you have made our town proud. Just waiting for the flurry of shout-outs to come in for Carson Martin after he hits that 2-run home run. He knew that one was gone the second he left its bat. He hit it, dropped his bat, put his hand in the air, and walked around to touch them all. Way to go, Carson. Love that security. Let's go, Raiders from the Farquhars. And that's going to do it for Colton Mays. As there's going to be a new pitcher for North Carolina. They bring in Tucker Cass to try to get the last 2 outs. Raiders pride never dies. Defense wins championships. So proud of my little brother, Carson Martin, taking after his sister with those home runs. Love you, Sydney. Woohoo, we love you, Carson. Way to go, Papa Kelly Abbey. Home run. Shout out to the West Rusk Raiders from the friendly neighborhood umpire, Doug B. Thank you for those shout outs. The new pitcher is Tucker Cash, but the way this game's been played so far, when Texas scored their runs in the 5th, North Carolina put something together to try to make this comeback. So North Carolina's not out of this one yet. They have to get out of this inning, though, with no more runs and then try to make the magic happen in the bottom of the 6th. My money's on they make this one interesting, but we'll have to see. Home run, baby, from your favorite Aiden to Carson. Going to be Babe Ruth soon. Thank you for that shout out. After the 2-run home run by Carson Martin, number 3, the first baseman, Clayton Keith, stands in. He's 1 for 2 on the day with the strikeout and the single with 1 out and the bases clear. He watches the first pitch, strike 1. Next pitch is way outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count now on Clayton Keith. Way to go, Carson. Nana is proud of you. Home run. 4-1 our score now. Texas leading over North Carolina here in the top of the 6th. North Carolina is going to have the bottom of the inning, though, to try to make their comeback. They had the bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th, but Texas turned 2 to end that inning. And now some insurance runs here in this top of the 6th. This one laced into left center by Keith, who hustles to second base, and he's safe. Sliding into second safely for the double. Keith put a swing on that one, hitting it to the left center fence, and then had to book it, but he got in under that tag. We might be small, but we play with big hearts. Way to go, Raiders, from the Harper family. Good job, Clayton. You tell him, Aiden. Go Babe Ruth from Abby. Starting in now is Anton Mata, who is 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a double, and he's going to be up to bat with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. As we have a conference now. And they're going to call him out at second base after the umpires meet at second base. They call Clayton Keith out. A huge overturn there by the umpires. North Carolina's coach came out, talked to him. They go out at second base, and Clayton Keith out at second base. He'll get credit with the single thrown out at second. Big second out as it takes a runner out of scoring position for Texas. And that's going to bring Anton Mata up with 2 outs and nobody on. Rally caps here in KM, North Carolina. Like Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over. Go Mountaineers. Hashtag JockJive. That was a huge overturn there by the umpires. Takes a runner off second base for someone, Anton Mata, who's 2 for 2 on the day with a single and a double. First pitch too low, ball 1. First break for North Carolina in this inning is to get him, Keith, off second base. Now pop up by Mata, but no play made at the infield. The third baseman, number 45, North Carolina, misjudges it. No communication in the North Carolina infield, and that one just falls in between 4 North Carolina defenders. And that one down. Anton Mata reaches on the E5. Should be an error on the whole infield there for North Carolina. After a break to get the runner out at second base after he was called safe, a misplay there that would have a hit that could have ended the inning. And that brings up Cole Jackson with 2 outs and a runner on first. As North Carolina's just trying to get back to the dugout. This one hit hard by Cole Jackson, and that one falls in center field. Anton Mata scampers to second base. Now 2 on, 2 outs for Texas as they look to get something going after the single by Jackson. That brings up Xander Mason, who's 1 for 2 on the day. It's okay, Keith. We are still going to shine. Xander Mata stands at second. Cole Jackson stands at first. 2 outs, 2 on for Xander Mason as they try to make that error hurt North Carolina here. Hit back up the middle. It falls in front of the shortstop. It gets away from North Carolina's shortstop. No play is made. Texas loads them up with 2 outs. Infield single for Mason brings up Garrett Sipes. It's his birthday, number 10. The shortstop for Texas comes up to bat with the bases loaded. 2 outs in the top of the 6th as Texas looks for some insurance runs. First pitch comes into Sipes, outside, ball 1. Is a score update from our field to the left. The home team has taken the lead. Georgia's come all the way back against Mississippi. They now lead 5-4 in the 5th. Strike 1 on Sipes. Birthday boy, bases loaded. Trying to give his team some more insurance. This one hit hard. Pop fly to the third baseman. The play isn't made. It gets out of the glove of the third baseman. Another error by this North Carolina team as Colton Mays lets it pop in and out of his glove, and that's another run for Texas. Mays let one fall in front of him earlier that let the inning go. And then a hard play by the shortstop was not able to be made. And then this another easy play that gets out of his glove. Sipes reads base on the air. Another run comes in to score for Texas. The inning stays alive. 5-1 our score now for Tate Winings. Guess that's a birthday present. Garrett Sipes' birthday. And Colton Mays gives them a birthday present there. Let's go Raiders, go Raiders. This one swung on hard. Now they got the runner at third base in a rundown, and they're able to tag him out. And third base over there was Andon Mata, and they caught him too far off third base. But not before 3 runs are scored by Texas. A 2-run home run by Carson Martin, then a run on the air by North Carolina. 3 come across to score. We head to the bottom of the third. Or bottom of the sixth. Your score, Texas 5, North Carolina 1. North Carolina needs 4 to continue this game, 5 to win. As the rally caps are being put on our left side of the infield by the parents, as they look to will their North Carolina team all the way back. The second batter in the lineup will be leading it off. Number 14, the catcher, Cole Irby, followed by number 5, Charlie Melton, and number 7, Bennett Davis are the 3 due up. Great job, G-Man. Happy birthday from the Farquhars. Go Carson Martin. The pitcher on the mound for Texas is going to be number 25, Andon Mata. He returns to the mound, and he's going to have to hold down to this North Carolina lineup. 4 to tie, 5 to win here in the bottom of the 6th. Leading off, number 14, the catcher, Cole Irby. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Come on, Raiders. East Texas is pulling for you. First pitch into Cole Irby is right there for strike 1. They have North Carolina's got 3 outs to score 4 runs. 4 to tie, 5 to win here in the bottom of the 6th. Our score is now 5 to 1, Texas over North Carolina. Strike 2 on Irby as he chases that one that was too far outside of the zone. Raider pride never dies. 3 up, 3 down. We love you so much. Finish strong from the Farquhars. 0-2 pitch, too far outside for ball 1. Ball 2 strikes now on Cole Irby. Number 14, the catcher, 0 for 2 on the day. Needs to get on base here. Leadoff batter, very important if you're trying to make a comeback. 1-2 pitch. This one brushes him off the plate. Ball 2. 2-2 the count now on Cole Irby. From Andon Mata, trying to close the door on North Carolina. North Carolina trying to make this one interesting here in the decisive bottom of the 6th inning. 4 to tie, 5 to win. This one over the head of Irby. Count runs full. Mata came on through 1 pitch in that bottom of the 5th with the bases loaded and 1 out. It was a hot shot right back to him. He threw it to home. They threw it to first for the double play, and that's a leadoff walk for Cole Irby. The leadoff batter for North Carolina gets on base. And that's a big deal if you're North Carolina trying to make this comeback to get the leadoff batter on. That brings up Charlie Melton, number 5. He walked and reached on an error in the 4th. Mata fakes the throw over to first, makes Irby bounce back to first base. This pitch from Mata too high to Melton for a ball. Let's go, Texas. You can do it. Some tense moments on both sides in Texas and North Carolina. There's another ball thrown by Mata into Melton. 2 balls, no strikes now. As the catcher for Texas is going to go and talk to his pitcher, Carson Martin. Trying to calm Andon Mata down. Two-0 pitch, bounces to the plate, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. The leadoff batter in this inning, Cole Irby, walked. And now 3 straight balls into Charlie Melton as Andon Mata is in danger of walking the first 2 batters in the bottom of the 6th. North Carolina needs 4 to tie, 5 to win. And finding the zone there is Mata for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike now. North Carolina's number 5, Carson Martin. You and the West Ruskers are amazing. Loved your home run. Love you more. From Mom. There's strike 2. Full count now on Charlie Melton. After the count was 3 balls, no strikes, Mata responds with 2 straight strikes to get the count full on number 5. Strike 3 looking, 3 straight strikes thrown by Mata, and that's a big first out of the bottom of the 6th. That brings up number 7, the center fielder, Bennett Davis, who's 0 for 2 on the day with the ground out and the fly out. Grounded out in the first, flew out in the 4th. The runner on first is Cole Irby. He walked to get there. Impressively, for all of the danger that North Carolina has put Texas in on the base paths, they still only have 1 hit today, and that was a single by Nick Cole. This one fouled off into the backstop. Love my Raiders. Keep up the good work. Bring home the trophy. We're so proud of you, and thank you to our wonderful coaches. Pitch comes in, swung through by Davis for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes on the center fielder, number 7 for North Carolina, with 1 out and a runner on first. They need 4 to tie. 5 to win here in the bottom of the 6th. And that's a strikeout. For Bennett Davis as he goes down swinging. Correction on that last shout out. The previous shout out was from Mumsy, not Mom. Sorry about that. Love my boy. Now 2 outs after 2 straight strikeouts by Melton and Davis. And Mata is starting to mow down this North Carolina lineup, and the door's starting to close on them. Tucker Cash strides in. 0 for 2 on the day, struck out and reached on an error. This pitch is outside for a ball. We got 1 more game tonight as we have a tie game over to our left, 5-5 in the 6th. The game between Georgia and Mississippi. The winner of this game will face the winner of that one. The loser will face the loser of that game. The winner will be playing tomorrow night at 8. The loser will play tomorrow at 3:30. This one fouled back by Tucker Cash. Shout out to Coach Scott for being an amazing coach, and Dad, keep the boys going. Love you, Sid. Two balls, one strike on Tucker Cash. This one again fouled back by Cash. North Carolina now down to their final strike. Two-two pitch. Hit back up the middle. Mata fields it. Fires it over to first, and Texas is going to get the win over North Carolina. Your final, Texas 5, North Carolina 0. On the ground out by Cash. Fitting way to end it, as that's what ended the night or the threat for North Carolina in the 5th. It ends the threat for them in the 6th. A ground out right back up the middle to Mata. There, North Carolina unable to score in the 6th. Texas scores 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. North Carolina plays 1 in the 5th, and your final is Texas 5, North Carolina 1. Great win, Texas Rusk Raiders. Teamwork wins championships. The mighty, mighty Raiders. OMG Tears, great job. Now get lots of rest and be ready for tomorrow. Keith, Laura, Darian, Tara, and Jackson. If you're crying after the first game, definitely see what happens if this team makes it all the way. Emotions all around on the Texas and North Carolina side. Good game, Kings Mountain. So that will send Texas to the winner's bracket to play tomorrow at 8 p.m. North Carolina falls to the loser's bracket, where they will face the loser of the game going on to our left. Be sure that game is tied up 5-5 in the 6th, so switch over to that one and you can find out who you guys are going to play next. Our co-announcer Chuck is over there calling that game, an intense one in the 6th between Georgia and Mississippi, but your final here from Oxford, Alabama is Texas 5, North Carolina 1 in the full 6 innings. The next game coming up is Louisiana and Virginia here on this field. We hope to catch you for that one and then catch you throughout the week here in Oxford, Alabama for the Dixie Youth Baseball Ozone World Series. I'm Anthony Crum with JockJive.com. I hope you enjoyed the coverage in the game. Your final, Texas 5, North Carolina 1. Hope to be hearing from you soon.